Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I want to just speak about why you should be very careful when you are getting a reading for your twin flame journey. It is because I'm going to share my experience, and I am also going to just generally speak about this because many of you whom I speak with in the one-to-one sessions, many of you have issues with regards to what a tarot card reader predicted for you. So, for instance, many come and say that when they are very sure of who their twin flame is, but someone told them that it's not their twin flame, it's a karmic partner. Someone else said that they will have a soulmate in life and they're not on the twin flame journey. And, someone else came to me and they were told that union is not possible for them in this journey. So I just want to also share my own experience here when in my journey in the past I took tarot card predictions and everything. Of course, in not a very high position, vibrationally. I have to concede that at that time when I'm seeking someone else's opinion on whether or not I am on the twin flame journey, I'm not in a very high vibrational journey. So in that moment, I'm not in a very high vibrational state. So in those moments, I went and I sought assistance, um, overall guidance for like my twin flame journey, or the blogs, or some kind of an update about what's going to happen. And I want to share that I randomly did this a few times in my life, and none of those predictions were correct for me. It is because people just pulled normal tarot cards, and whatever just came out, they just told me based on that. And since I also got very interested in tarot cards about 5 or 6 months into my journey, so I learned how to pull cards, and I got some oracle decks. I got a couple of other decks. So now I completely understood tarot, and I started watching some daily tarot readings, on a particular channel, which was very insightful, and it did not even necessarily have anything to do with romance or relationships. So I picked up a lot about how to read cards and everything. So I understood that this is really silly because I know that when somebody is predicting based on cards, I know how it can go right or it can go wrong, and it depends on so many things. It depends on my presence of mind, it depends on the reader's clarity, it depends on the energy of the cards being completely cleansed and completely free of any energy of the previous reading where the cards have been involved in. It's such a factor of so many things that is no wonder that none of those readings were correct. And I want to take it a step forward and say that even astrologically, if you get like your chart read and your twin flames chart read, it does not mean anything. Like, this is also something that I have done where clearly I was told, oh no, you are not on the twin flame journey, you don't have the conjunction of what twin flames normally are supposed to have. And I just laughed at it because I had already had intense soul recognition by that time of seeing myself in my twin flames image, completely. And so much guidance from the universe, so much guidance from my own, spirit guides and my own guru and my own, faith, and everything completely changing for me. I mean, not being able to, live in my old way at all. So nobody who could just see my chart or predict, just based on that I don't have the conjunction to be on the twin flame journey. This exactly is what I'm telling you. Do not give your power away to anyone. Do not give your power away to anyone. Definitely not to me. I'm also not interested in having that power over anybody. This is why I don't confirm twin flame journeys. Sometimes people ask me, is this a twin flame journey? And I will just say, if you have turned more spiritual, if life has just become deeper for you, your gifts are, showing up for you, you can't live your life the old way in which you were living your life, then yes, it's very likely that you are on the twin flame journey. But mostly, it should be your heart which should be able to tell you if you're on the twin flame journey or not. And it's okay, it can take you 1 year, it can take you 2 years, it can take you 3 years till you are 100% certain. Everybody has their own process of becoming certain of being on the journey. And irrespective of whether you are certain or not certain of the journey, you can still start to just, release your blocks anyway. You can start to put in some effort to release your blocks. As it is, the journey will purge you and many of your blocks will be removed, but if you put in some effort, in my understanding and in my experience, that goes a very, very long way in strengthening that purging process that the universe has already kick-started for you because of, the soul recognition and all of that with your twin flame. So do not give your power away. It can be so disturbing. This is something that people just don't forget. Even if they are working on they're healing themselves, and they are sure of their twin flame, they have obsessive thoughts of the twin flame, they're trying to balance their energies, they know about the journey, but they go and they fall into that trap of asking someone else, thinking that that person will know more than what I will ever know. All right, so you give your power away in this sense, and then that person just pulls a few cards. It doesn't even matter what energy they are in. Do they know how to really pull cards with the purity and the cleanse, that is necessary before you pull in cards, not just of the cards, but also of the reader, and what kind of energy are you in? Nobody knows anything. And then the card will say, oh, no, this is a karmic, this is a soulmate. Or you go to, someone who is trying to tell you about the twin flame journey based on astrology. And they also tell you some utter nonsensical things. So there is absolutely no point in you looking at other people for solutions. Please always seek assistance from the universe. The universe will guide you. If you are guided to somebody who does an energy reading, somebody who doesn't use tarot, somebody who doesn't do anything like that, but based on connecting with your energy, they can tell you about not your twin flame journey, but on your overall energy, your overall dynamic with your twin flame, and based on that how things are proceeding and stuff like that. Maybe that is more helpful for you to understand where your blocks lie. But as far as tarot goes, tarot is a hit and a miss. Especially with the YouTube videos, they are 100%. They have never worked for me. In the beginning of my journey, I got hooked on the tarot game as well. I used to watch readings, and every monthly reading that of a channel that I used to really specifically follow would be about my sun sign, which is Cancer, and everything would just seem like yes, this is my reading. Oh, so this month I'm going to have amazing contact. This month you will have a breakthrough. This month you will have a tower moment. Or this month you will have these deep realizations. This person is going to come back. All right, I see everything is just aligning. Look out for the full moon, which is happening in this sign on this date, and great things are going to happen. Did any of those things happen? Absolutely not. And trust me, when you shift your vibration, you will not want to have anything to do with tarot card readings. Like, you will absolutely not entertain tarot card readings. Maybe once in 2 weeks, something is specifically calling you. You will feel a pull towards a certain kind of a reading, and you may go towards that reading, and yes, there will be a message for you, but that pull will be very, 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 very specific. Even now, if the universe wants to show you some kind of a reading, like if the universe wants to show me something, they will give me such specific indications that you need to watch this, and it will be like 100% kind of a message synchronicity, 100% kind of a number synchronicity with the time, and it will be my personal number. It will something very, very 100% for me. And then I know I will see that reading. If within the first minute or two I sense it's not for me, maybe I was just drawn to some nonsense, I don't even watch it. But usually there is a pull in, and then I know, okay, there is an important message here, maybe for my soul mission. There is something important here for me, for my healing process, for my life in general, for the changes that I am observing right now in my life. You continue to go through these processes, right, in your life. So then I understand it. Okay, this was very potent for me, and this holds a lot of meaning for me, and I listen to this. But this is so rare. This is so rare. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that otherwise you will waste watching your time watching 100 readings, and maybe one of them will apply to you. But just don't do that on YouTube. And secondly, every time I used to get tarot card predictions done for my twin flame journey, none of them have come true. Like, none of them have been true on any level. And some would say you will have an amazing reunion within the next 1 month. Nothing of the sort happened, in that time frame. Or some would say something else. Some would just make me very, very negative about my twin flame journey, saying very negative things about my healing process, or about my divine counterpart and my dynamic. And it would just be such an unnecessary burden. And I would see that how so many signs were stopping me from even going to this tarot card reader. So many signs were even stopping me from contacting this particular person. So nobody can really tell you about this journey except yourself. And if you ever need a sign, just ask the universe to give you the sign. Ask the universe to give you the right kind of guidance that you need on this journey. Alright? But do not fall for predictions, is what I am saying. Predictions can be very, very tricky. They can be very, very wrong, and predictions can change. If you change yourself, your way of thinking undergoes a change. So today you have a predictive reading about your life, and then you become spiritual, you change everything, you become conscious. That prediction will not hold true for you. The way it is with astrology, that when you become conscious in life, astrology and horoscope they don't really make any sense for you anymore. They are not valid for you anymore. They are not applicable for you anymore. So it's always important to go beyond the limitations that you have in your life, the limitations of your karma. Whereas astrology is only telling you what your karma looks like. Based on your karma, it is predicting, your karma and your tendencies and everything. And it's an accurate prediction. If you are very unconscious, it will just match you beautifully. And the predictions will also just be right for you. Alright? Because you are unconscious, and your karma will play out, and it will take you in the direction of your tendencies, that you are born with, that you have, come with, the allotment of karma that you have come with for this life. But if you become spiritually conscious, meaning thereby now you are aware of your responses, now you are working on yourself, you are looking at your patterns, you are looking at your fears, you are looking at your limitations, you are looking at where you don't love yourself, where you don't accept yourself, the limitations of your life, the limitations of your situations. And now you are saying, I am going to consciously create my life, meaning thereby I am going to consciously regulate my responses. How somebody behaves with me, I will regulate my response to it. I will try to see where the trigger point is rather than reacting. Astrology will predict my reaction, right? Astrology is predicting that I will be stuck in this situation based on the patterns that I've been following. But when I do a spiritual process, or I become very conscious, then astrology can no longer predict anything. So at this point of time in my life, astrology holds very little meaning for me in my life. Trust me, it does. Because earlier this year, I got an astrological reading, of my chart, and whatever blocks this astrologer told me I had in my horoscope were the blocks I used to have 7 or 8 years ago. Now, why that change came in? Because I had my first spiritual awakening those many years ago. So after my first spiritual awakening, I started to automatically regulate, these aspects that were mentioned in my horoscope. I automatically started to look at, my the way I was behaving emotionally, my emotional regulation, so to speak, my conscious choices, my physical health. All of those things were things that I consciously started to regulate. All right. So at this age, now, when the astrologer is telling me the things, they are no longer relevant for me, but they were relevant for me those many years ago, before I started to meditate, before I started to become spiritual. Though all of those things were very, very valid for me. Right now, there was no meaning, there was no truth in it. There was just some indication of some blocks that I could have worked on, but I was already aware of those blocks. And I already knew that I'm in the process of releasing those blocks. And I know it's a whole lifetime which is, taken to release your blocks. You don't even have to get so overly obsessed with releasing your blocks. Life only releases it. But did the astrology take that into account? No, not at all. So this is exactly, if you are on the twin flame journey, you are meant Mark this and write this down, especially if you had a horoscope reading which has put you down. You are meant to tide over the nonsense and the limitations of your horoscope and the nonsense and limitations of astrological transits that happen in your life. You can utilize some of these energies, like the full moon and the new moon are beautiful energies to utilize. All ascetics utilize it, all yogis utilize it, right? Your natural energies are on an upsurge. Solar flares impact us in a wonderful way as well. Solar flares can lead to significant changes in the body, significant vibrations in the body that can deepen your spiritual process. Solstice and periods of the way the earth is moving with relation to the sun, that can have very, very, very powerful impacts on you. And definitely to some extent some large planets can have an impact on you. But as a spiritual being, you're meant to utilize the tide, the high tide to your favor. And as a spiritual being, when the tide is low, your reserve of the equanimity that you have developed and your conscious awareness is meant to take you through the low tides. It's meant to take you through the bad times. So you are not just a toy to the astrological transits. You're not. You can read up about them if you really care, and you can utilize them for your benefit if you want to, but never think that you are under any kind of a limitation based on an astrological transit. Your personal divine timing to do anything in life, not just for your twin flame journey, will depend on a host of factors. It will depend on your vibrational energy, most importantly. And your vibrational energy really depends on how conscious you are, how aware you are, how connected to the divine you are at all times. And just your state of self-awareness can take your vibrational energy from a 0 to 100 very, very fast. If currently I'm experiencing a low vibrational energy, my horoscope will say, oh, you know what, the vibrational energy is going to be very low, or I'm just going to feel really sad, I'm going to be very low and all of that. But what if I know consciously that I can go out in nature, I can spend maybe 1 or 2 hours just being in nature, just connecting to everything around me, connecting to life. I can sit and meditate, I can do a chant, I can ask for help, right? I can connect with my higher self. Would that not change my vibrational energy? And then have I not defeated what the astrological prediction was telling me my day would look like? Have I or have I not? This exactly is in your power. Every day you don't have to check your astrology, you don't have to check your tarot. All you have to do is wake up and do some practice, something, some routine if you wish to. That will automatically put you in a high vibrational energy. And I am telling you that the blessings of the divine, the grace of the divine on you, the grace of your spirit guides, if you're connected to your spirit guides, everyone has spirit guides, but we are not connected, we are not listening to them, we are not following the signs. Luckily for us in this journey, we learn to follow the signs, we learn to connect with our higher self and our spirit guides and all of that. Almost all of us are connected, right? So we have that support, we have the grace of the divine, we are on a specific journey, which is a journey of spiritual awakening. You never have to worry about anything, from the outside impacting you. Your inner self is becoming very, very powerful. So do not fall prey to this whole thing, and do not feel like you're a victim to, a tarot card prediction or an astrological reading. You are now going through a spiritual awakening, meaning thereby you're going to become empowered. You are becoming empowered every day. You have control over how your life progresses. You have conscious awareness of how you're thinking, feeling, how you're being right now. And you can utilize this conscious awareness to change everything about you, right? And if you struggle with it, then just ask for help. Call the divine and ask for help. Otherwise, what is enlightenment? Why are beings going to ever get enlightened if we are just meant to be living, this unconscious life after life after life? Then nobody will ever get enlightened. Nobody will ever have that nirvana or that mukti, as it is such an important concept in Hinduism, the liberation, from the cycle of life and death. Mukti is something which was, like something that Hindus always used to think about. It was always just entrenched, in the culture, as Sadhguru says. And similarly in Buddhism, nirvana, is the same concept, right? So all of these things, like just simply speaking, if this was not something that was possible, then why would people even seek it? Then why would we have this urge to transcend our limitations? Why would we have the urge to go beyond our day to day life, to go beyond the cycles of our life? Why would we have this urge? And I know many of you don't have this, because many of us cry about the twin flame journey and the pain and the hardship of it, and we self victimize and we say, I am bearing the brunt of this journey, or and all of that. Yes, many of us can be in that place, but many of us can also be in the place where we are very, very motivated, to look at our life holistically and look at surpassing this barrier of, the constantly being reincarnated on one planet, and just going through the same cycles, the same nonsense of life after life, of being born and going to school, getting an education, then trying to have a job, then getting married and having children, then raising those children, living in the constraints of the society. I don't know if many of you have thought about, overcoming this, or do you ever feel that in the next lifetime you want to come here again and do the same nonsense again? I'm sorry for being very harsh here, but this has been my desire to not live like this since I was 23 or 22 years of age, and sometimes even maybe in my teens I used to think about this, and I used to wonder, what is this about? Like, why will I want to keep doing this again and again? It's silly, to say the least. Also, maybe because in Hindu cultures we are raised with that reincarnation bit, as entrenched in just how we are taught everything about our culture. We believe in it, we know it. Our rituals are around reincarnation, and we accept it completely. We have a different relationship with our ancestors. We are very connected to our ancestors, and we honor our ancestors every month and every year. Especially now, many people don't do this, but still in traditional societies within India, it's still done, in a very proper way, and we believe ancestors keep reincarnating, and we are our own ancestors, and all of this wisdom which has been corroborated and which has been provided by enlightened yogis, in the past in our culture. So I used to always think about this very, very deeply, and this is why you will always notice that in whatever twin flame conversations I have, I try to always focus on the larger purpose of the journey, which is your spiritual awakening. Any kind of self development work that you do, any kind of inner work that you do, you release limitations, etc., is so that you are more open to life. You are more open. When you're open to your twin flame, in some sense your heart is open to everything and everyone. You're no longer somebody who was hurt 10 years ago and 5 years ago, and you're healing that damage still, and you develop defense mechanisms around that damage. You're no longer willing to live in those defense mechanisms. We all develop defense mechanisms, but this is that process of choosing to release our defense mechanisms, so that we have that openness that is always present inside of us. It is through that openness that we participate in life. It is that openness towards which our twin flame gets attracted. Okay, so this is I am going to speak more about the feminine energy and the specific need for inner work for the feminine energy, in some upcoming podcast video. There are some ideas that I decided I will definitely speak about and try to capture. But essentially your openness is extremely, extremely important. I've also already recorded this about the feminine energy. You can check it out in the playlist, what it means to be in your feminine energy, right? So for your twin flame journey, so your twin flame journey, always look at it as a spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakening, what is a spiritual awakening? Have you ever thought about what a spiritual awakening is? It is to bring you closer to the truth of who you are. And whatever we think we are not that. We are not this person in this body, in this gender, in this identification of the society that we live in. This is not who we are, right? We are who we are, we don't know. I mean, we have to start with that idea of I don't know. We don't have to conclude everything, We don't even have to say we are soul when we don't experientially experience the soul. Soul is just a word, which has been created to explain this, right? But who you really are is something you have to experientially know. And this is the path that we are walking on. That somewhere our soul, or our inner being, our true self really craved to know who we were, right? And twin flame journey is one of the many ways of a spiritual awakening. So we chanced upon this. We pre-decided it. We thought, okay, we'll come here and we'll get spiritually awakened and we'll walk this beautiful path of knowing, our true selves. We will help others in making their journey easy, in sharing our wisdom, in sharing our experiences, so that they feel accompanied, that they don't feel completely lonely, right? It can be anything, right? We will express ourselves in the fullness of who we are, fearlessly, because that is something that nobody is really doing anymore. Very few are really actually doing it. So this is a great service when we truly be ourselves. So yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to speak about, that when this is your spiritual awakening, what can astrology really do for you here? What can a pandit or somebody just sitting and predicting your future really tell you about your future? For me, I'm telling you personally, my father has been very fond of showing my horoscope to everyone. Not once has my horoscope come true. I mean, even at the time when I was not spiritual, my horoscope predictions, so none of those predictions used to come true, even at the time when I was not spiritual, because somewhere my will was always very, very strong. So if I wanted to do something and the horoscope will say that's not possible at all, I would anyway go and do this, and I will anyway go and achieve that. you know and then later on, the people predicting the horoscope will come up with some excuse or the other and say, oh, this would have happened, and that is why this probability arose, and this is why you became successful. I am sure good karma has something to do with the good results we have, absolutely. But I really believe that if we are spiritually conscious, none of this really matters. Sadhguru even goes on to say that your karma does not matter. All the time, I see in the Hindi channels which speak of twin flames, they say, collect your good karma, go and do things for people, donate money so that you have good karma. And I find it so reprehensible and sad. You should never do anything with the intention of earning anything, which is so much against, not fully understanding the concept. When you are just understanding a concept partially of karma being good and bad, and you've understood the concept partially, you've not delved deep into it. If anybody would read the Gita, 5 minutes into the Gita, you will realize that Krishna, has told Arjun that whenever you do karma, never think about the results that you will get, right? You're never supposed to think about the results. And if you're going to do something based on the results that you're going to get, that you're expecting, anyway, all of that will not work out for you. We also now know this because of law of attraction. We know we're supposed to let go of the outcomes, which is supposed to stay in a high vibrational energy, or we're doing a manifestation, meditation or a ritual or whatever. We're meant to let go. The letting go is so important. It's to just trust the universe to show you or to bring you what you really, really need, what is in alignment with your highest good, right? So that trusting the wisdom, that letting go. And now if I'm ever doing a good deed or any kind of a deed, I never try to classify it as a good deed or a bad deed or a good karma that I'm accumulating. I don't know for what. For what am I accumulating this good karma, right? Instead, it is best to be spiritually conscious, be aware, and just have love in your heart. Wherever you don't feel love in your heart, it is important to look at what is stopping you from feeling love in your heart, because love in your heart is your natural state. What is bringing you into the unnatural state of hate or, resentment or something like that? Instead, look at releasing that so you come into your natural state of love. And everything flows with ease. Everything flows with ease in life. So there is no point in looking at something, with the intent of trying to achieve anything. So similarly, like I was mentioning, that Sadhguru says there is no problem with the karma that you have. Karma can be very complex always for many people, and it is so much it's so complex that nobody even tries to understand it. There can be collective karma, family karma, the karma of the community, the karma of your entire extended family. That is the concept of karma. It can be something very, very extreme that can be impacting you, that you can't even get away from. It can be ancestral. It can be just 100 million kinds of karma. Do you have to bother with it? No. You can just turn spiritual. You can just turn self-aware. You can just connect with the divine and let the divine grace help you through everything. Let the divine grace always be with you. Try instead to seek the divine grace. If you can connect with the divine in a potent and powerful way, the grace will never leave you. Even when you leave the divine will not leave you. If you can reach that state of always being aligned with the divine grace, nothing bad will happen to you. You will be fine. You will be able to handle every situation. There is no point in trying to know what is coming for me in the next 100 days or 2 years or 3 years or 10 years, because you're okay with the uncertainty of life. You know you are protected, you know you're taken care of, and you know if even a very horrible challenge comes your way, you know you have the capability to overcome that challenge, to see it through, because this is just who you are. You're an empowered being. So why not focus on empowering yourself, in looking out at your limitations, releasing those limitations, becoming a spiritually powerful being, practicing your spirituality in a deeper way, practicing your self-awareness, getting aligned with those kinds of teachings and those kinds of readings which give you an overview about your life, rather than focusing on karma and my prediction, when am I going to come into union, what is going to happen, or what is my twin flame up to, what am I up to, will there be anything good that will ever happen to me. You see, this is all coming from a space of a survivalist kind of a mindset, the part of your mind which is focused on survival, that I've spoken of in so many podcasts, which I'd uploaded maybe a month or so back. You can go back and check it out, and you will understand this, that this is the part of the mind which is not aligned with your higher self. It's very important that because of the twin flame journey, you are on a spiritual awakening, you align with your higher self, that part of you that is aligned to your higher self, rather than the part of you which is thinking of the scarcity, the I don't have this, the whole self-victimization, the fear-based energy of what is going to happen. I know it's easier said than done, but at least be in awareness of when that mind becomes active. It happens to the best of us, it happens to me as well. When that part of my mind becomes active, I become aware of it now. I'm just like, okay, you know what, this is becoming active. I just have to stay aware of it. Okay? In my awareness, now I know I can make a conscious choice. If you want, you can go back and see that video on conscious choice that I uploaded, some time back. And you will understand how choices impact your journey and all of that. So basically, when I'm now making that new choice of being conscious, that new choice of not giving into the survivalist mind that is always trying to become active, that ego which is always trying to preserve itself, protect itself and sustain itself. So I have to just become aware of it, and I immediately have to shift my focus away from that, let it just come and go, and shift my focus away from it. And if I'm still in the mind, I can create a positive thought, I can use an affirmation which is opposed to this fear-based thought. I can say I'm protected, I can say I'm healed, I can say my energy brings to me what I need. If it is regarding the twin flame journey, you can say something like, I'm in harmonious union with my twin flame, I know that the universe is bringing me the best, I know the universe is working for my highest good, I know that twin flame union is my birthright, and I know I'm moving towards it every day, I know I'm getting ready for union. You can utilize these affirmations to change your mind. Okay? So this is how you will even shift this conscious awareness that you're showing in the present moment will also shift your future. It will shift what you have created for the future. This is the wisdom of Paramhansa Yogananda, of Eckhart Tolle. They both have spoken of this, that when you are conscious in the present, the future takes care of itself. If you are not conscious in the present moment and you keep replaying the same reels of the past time and time again, what ends up happening? The future looks exactly like the past, and we don't want that to happen. Why? Because we're going through a spiritual awakening. Why? Because of the twin flame journey. Alright? So we have to become conscious. We have to put that effort into becoming conscious. That is the effort which is the most important effort you will make, and the rest will take care of itself. Trust me, it will. Okay? So this is all I wanted to speak about. Just to conclude, do not give your power away to tarot card readers, to readers of astrology and all of that. Now you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're creating your reality. There is no point in trying to give your power away to people like that. Anybody, that person can be somebody who is maybe in twin flame union or whatever it is, and they are married to their twin flame, and you think that they can predict your future. No, you are very powerful yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't think of yourself as less than anyone. Especially don't allow yourself to be treated as less. This is a mistake that I have made in my journey, and this is why I am sharing this with you, just out of my experience, that we tend to do this. We tend to place people on a pedestal and place ourselves as below those people. Kindly don't do that. Your self-love will teach you that you are very powerful, and that you're very much in your own energy, and the help that you really need, help of a loving person, somebody who will love you and give you the assistance that you need with humility in their heart, will be someone that will come your way. Set the intention and it will happen. Like for the one-on-one sessions that I do, trust me, for each and every session I never try to um, control anything. So, what I do is right before the session, I always pray and I always set the intention that what this person who has contacted me, who is sitting in front of me, needs from me today, they need in their journey, they need in their life. May that be something that they find from me today. May I be open enough to deliver that. May I be the conduit, the channel for that divine wisdom to come their way through me. Am I trying to give that wisdom? No, absolutely not. I would absolutely not be interested in giving my wisdom, because there is no my wisdom here, right? It is all the divine's, ownership. I am just playing, a role of the instrument of the divine, is how I at least set the intention before every session, that there is nothing that I should be able to tell this person with my ego. Because when I come in, my ego comes in. My ego comes in, then the limitations of the ego come in, right? All of that comes in, and this is not what you want. So whenever you are trying to contact anybody for a prediction or a reading or an energy reading or something, ensure that they don't work with their ego. And you can't say that about many people, unfortunately. Even if people are married to their twin flames, and hence they have that kind of an energetic purity or whatever, even those people sometimes can then come back into their ego and start offering you solutions based on their ego, and not based on what the divine is asking them to communicate. And you will always know that whatever the divine communicates to you will always be kind, it will always be compassionate, it will always be for your highest good. It will never feel like a bad thing, it will never feel like a burden. Okay, it will never be like that you end that phone call after a tarot card reading and then you feel bad about your life, that you feel less about the choices you're making, that you feel less about your twin flame journey or your life in general, that you feel horrible and that you're disturbed, after it for many, many months. If that is how, you end up feeling, then know that it had nothing to do with the divine. Okay? It should always make you feel uplifted, make you feel healed, and make you feel really, really correctly guided. Not make you feel low, not make you feel bad, not make you put you in doubt, out of which you're not able to come for the next 6 months or 1 year. Okay? So don't give your power away to anyone. You own the power, you own it. This is your spiritual awakening. Awakening meaning you are going to get self-empowered. So hold that power within you. Leave everything to the divine. Always set the intention of the divine taking you to the right sources and bringing to you what you need in your journey at whatever stage of your journey. Okay? So this is all I wanted to speak about. I know this has become very long, but I spoke very passionately, and if you heard any background noise, this is the rain in the background, so that's possibly a very positive noise. So yeah, have a beautiful day. Bye bye.